Thank you for joining us for tonight's post-game press conference following Long Beach State's 79-71 win over Hawaii. We'll start with a statement from head coach Dan Munson, then open it up for questions.
Well, I think, like I told the players, that's a start. We have not defended well enough to meet our goals, to meet our expectations of the season, and we're only going to be as good as what our defense takes us to. And I've been pretty adamant all week, trying to coach through some of these older guys about not accepting where we're at. I think Kadir has really bought into that, and some of these guys, Jadon and AJ have always defended, but getting everybody, I really thought Marcus had a different mindset defensively, and Bazil was more, in his stance today, and getting some other guys involved in this mission or to solve our biggest problem, and that's, we're going to go as far as our defense takes us. I mean, this team is really gifted. I think it can score on anybody in the country. Especially when we're defending, it just comes so easy off your defense. But to see our offensive numbers and not put that game away, because again we started fouling and going back to how we been defending all year the second half. So the week off comes at a great time for us because we have the best defensive team in the league coming in, the best team so far in the league coming in, and we're not ready for it. We need this week to get ourselves, in a different mindset, not a different mindset, but more of a consistent mindset. I loved our mindset starting this game. I loved how we defended our activity, but we had some tired guys because they haven't done that all year. And guys came in off the bench, and it was a good team win for us. And so I'm not trying to diminish that at all. That's, that Hawaii is going to be in the mix of this thing, and for us to hold the court, but for us to beat them in Hawaii and for us to have success next Thursday, we got to understand we got to keep getting better.
Coach, just kind of continuing on this game, and then you've got UC Irvine and UC San Diego coming here for your next two home games. What about this performance would convince someone that your team has what it takes to win 3 straight games in March and make the tournament?
It doesn't. It doesn't. There's no way, and I've been telling them that all along. We're not. You can't go win a tournament if you can't consistently defend for 120 minutes, or if we happen to get in the top 2, which we're a long ways from doing, it could be 160 minutes. It could be 80 minutes. I love the way the tournament format's set up and reward people, but we're not. And I keep telling them that. Whoever's telling them that needs to be drowned out and listen to me and trust their coaches, because we're not going to win 3 games if we don't change our defensive mindset But what they did give us is some hope, that, hey, they've got the message. Now we got to get better at it. Now we got to get more consistent on it. Now we got to be tougher minded when we get to the second half. And again, we reverted back to fouling, and reverted back to our old habits when we got tired and got ahead. And so, that's got to be corrected, and in a hurry. It's almost February, and these are, for great teams, for championship teams, these are issues that you solve in September and October.
Hey, Coach, you guys clicked on all cylinders in the first half, had a strong second half start. Then Hawaii slowly creeped in within 6 to 5 minutes to end that. How would you evaluate the way you guys closed this game?
How do I put that? Like unchampions, like a 3-3 team does, just let the pedal off the gas, let somebody back in, get rhythm. They had one player that got in rhythm the first half. We did a tremendous job on McClanahan and Coleman. I mean, they both had 0 points at half. McClanahan ended the game with 0. But again, our awareness, who is cooking, is not where it needs to be. And you're not going to, you have to be able to adjust in a game. And when one guy gets going, you got to have an alertness and awareness and shut that water off. And we're we're not as a team. We have guys that get it, but for an experienced team like we are, it's disappointing that we're still addressing these things this late in the year. But to our guys, I mean, I think we have the highest ceiling to improve coming down the stretch here. And if our guys will embrace that and practice better and take coaching, we can get ourselves to that level. But I'm not here to tell anybody we're there right now.
Jadon, can you talk a little bit about the defense, especially the zone, and how confident and in control you guys look, especially for a team that struggled defensively? You guys looked like you didn't need to over-communicate tonight. Why is that clicking for you guys in the zone?
Coach has done a great job of preparing us with the zone. We practice it a lot. And it's won us some games, so it's just something we feel confident in just based off the performances we've had in the past and just the things it's been able to do for us down the stretch.
Jadon, 18 for 24 shooting as a team in the first half, had 14 assists, just 1 turnover. Talk a little bit about what it's like when this team is operating at that level offensively.
I think this game in particular is different than any other game where we've maybe seemed clicking on offense, just because a lot of our points came off of our defense, and our identity is still trying to get on the defensive end. But I think why this game in particular, which is so efficient and seemed just so well, was due to just our scoring off defense, our prioritizing defense.
Coach, were you at all surprised that Marcus can come back within a week of being sat on the bench, I guess you could say, and then to come back and play the way that he did tonight? Was that surprising to you that he kind of bounced back in a mental way?
No, I mean, he came off the bench at USC. He came out of foul trouble at DePaul and got cooking. Marcus is, I think, better when he's on a short leash as far as just making, because when he makes the right play, and is, just out there, playing the right way, I think he might be one of the best players in the league, offensively. And so sometimes it helps him to slow down and just not be so comfortable. And I think the thing that I was most impressed about Marcus was not offensively today. He was actually in a stance and dictating. I mean, he had, I think, 4 or 5 deflections at halftime. We had 19 deflections at halftime, and A.J. George and Jadon, and usually always have most of them, but he had, it was a 3-man, attack out there to start the game. All 3 of them were just so active, and that's what I was most happy with Marcus. Everybody knows Marcus what he can do offensively, but for him to make the next step, and it's going to be on the defensive end, and that's where I thought he really had a good game today.
And Jadon, you had a pretty crazy sequence. Got a steal, and that's that one-handed flush, and then the steal again with the alley-oop. Can you walk us through that and how it went for you? And
he had another steal where he almost missed because he couldn't get to the rim. But just thought I'd mention that when we were talking about highlights. He had a flat tire or something.
Yeah, it's tough. But like you said, it's just steals. Scoring off our defense, you get, I like to think of it as you get rewarded with those kind of plays by playing defense. So they were great plays, high energy plays. I get excited off plays like that, but it all starts on the defensive end. So that's what we're working towards, and our goal is to be a defensive team. So the more steals we get, the more dunks we get. So that's just my mindset.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yep.